Creation, taste, and intentions are forms of cultural unity. Culture is identical with all human resources and activities to process and synergize with nature.
Overall, culture includes all science, including knowledge, belief, art, morals, science, law, customs, to other human abilities.
Well, we could say the creation of a culture is the result of the interaction between humans and the entire universe.
So all cultural products of course have symbols and their meanings, which maybe few people know about. Become local heroes. In this episode, we will review cultural symbols and meanings, of course, only in programs
Local wisdom. Symbols are very important in our culture because they represent life.
Yeah, symbols usually contain a code, image, or movement to convey a specific message or purpose. Unfortunately, not many people understand about the true meaning of the symbol in every culture created.
So, in this episode, it is our duties to provide information only to you, loyal viewers. Only on
Local wisdom.
The meaning of symbols is of course found in traditional dances, which usually have various characteristics by highlighting the philosophy, culture, and folklore from the place where the dance developed. One of the things we should know is the Datun dance, which comes from the Dayak tribe. To be precise, Dayaknya is Kalimantan.
Datun dance was called a means to show gratitude to God for having been blessed with children or grandchildren. Datun can be interpreted as a long walk in a circle, while Julut means lined up. This dance is a Dayak Kenya women group dance with uncertain number. It can be 10 to 20 performers. Kancet Datun Julut is a mandatory dance for the Dayak Kenya tribes.
The dance that called the Kancet Datun Julut dance will be performed by women in traditional Kenya women's clothing, that is sapeng in ta'a.
Another characteristic is the gentle movements, and all movements follow the rhythm of the music. In any ceremony, Kancet Datun Julut is always carried out like the traditional Mekak Undat ceremony or harvest party. Even in the past, the dance could be held for a full day when celebrating victory in war.
From the island of Borneo, we move to the island of Java, to be precise, the Sundanese, who are one of the owners of the richest culture in Indonesia. Who doesn't know Jaipong dance? This traditional dance from the Sundaland has become a unifying force for the Sundanese, Karawang people, and West Java, which combine movements in pencak silat, golek papat, ketuk tilu, and so on. Jaipong, which was first recognized by the public, is the Daun Pulus Keser Bojong dance and Rendang Bojong. This dance is a type of female dance and dance in pairs of boy and girls.
Then, in 1974, an artist named Gugum Gumbira developed the Ketok Tilu dance, which later changed its name to Jaipongan. And then in 1976, Jaipong grew rapidly, starting with the recording of a simple instrument consisting of a drum, gong, ketuk, sinden, or juru kawi.
The meaning contained in Jaipong dance is to represent Sundanese women who are friendly, brave, energetic, never give up, independent, responsible, agile, but polite.
With the emergence of the Jaipong dance, many art enthusiasts have organized the Jaipong dance cause. Jaipong dance has characteristics such as cheerfulness, simplicity, humor, and enthusiasm.
Next, we had Maumere, East Nusa Tenggara, which has one of the traditional dances called Heong dance. This dance is usually played in groups by male and female dancers in typical traditional clothes and accompanied by gong-winning music. Heong dance is one of the well-known traditional dance and often performed in various events such as traditional events, welcoming important guests, regional arts, and various other events.
This Heong dance is usually played by 6 to 10 performers, both male and female dancers, and one person as the dance leader in the front position. In the Heong dance, performance there are usually 4 rounds that have each meaning.
The first round, it was opened with a fast rhythmic movement and jolt of the feet, pitching the spirit of the dancer. In the second half, the dancer make a circle where the female dancers are surrounded by male dancers. This illustrates the soul of man in defending and protecting women.
In the third round is a creative movement that describes the cooperation between men and women. While in the final round, one of the male dancers is lifted up to describe that he is monitoring the enemy or opponent, and the dancers below describe their readiness to face an attack.
Wow, there are so many traditional Asian dances, which have different meaning for each movement as well as the costume worn by the dancers.
Now then, we will still discuss about symbols in other cultural products. So don't go anywhere, keep watching.
Local wisdom. Our current life synonymous with close-knit settlements and live in big cities, but actually in each area we have traditional houses, unique and interesting in the eyes of the world.
And you know what also, that these traditional houses have different shapes as well as representation of cultural values that are combined with the surrounding natural conditions. Well, we will show you some traditional Indonesian houses scattered in several areas.
For on the island of Sumatra, North Sumatra to be precise, there is a traditional house named the Polon House, which is a symbol and identity of the Batak tribe. This tribe is called one of the large tribes in Indonesia. Rumah Bolon is also a symbol of the social status of the Batak people who live in North Sumatra.
The Bolon house is often referred to a gargo house, a stilt house, wide and large. This house is usually used as a big family meeting house. Every building structure and decoration found in the Bolon house contains a certain symbolic meaning, were related with their beliefs and customs. For example, a solid pillar as a foundation having the philosophy of mutual assistance and strength. The roof is embodiment of prayer so that the owner of the house is always given success in life.
Meanwhile, various carvings about life and prayers are considered good for the owner of the house. One of the philosophy of the Batak traditional house from the side of the curved roof symbolizing the potential for a better future.
Almost similar to Bolon House, in Toraja there is also a stilt house named Tongkonan. This Tongkonan traditional house itself has a philosophical note that always goes to a philosophy of life taken from the teachings of Aluk Todolo. The philosophy contains that building a traditional house must have a meaning that is bound in all the processes of the Toraja community. So, Tongkonan House is a symbol of family and the dignity of the Toraja people. This traditional house is known to be strong and can even last for hundreds of years.
Local heroes. Initially, the Tongkonan house was made as a place to become a cultural center for the Toraja people. The Tongkonan house itself can also be used as a banua or a traditional house, even become a rice barn.
Tongkonan House is made by having four basic colors, which also has meanings for each colors. Red color means blood, which symbolizes human life. Yellow color means grace from the Almighty. White is bone color, which means holy or clean, while the black color means death.
In other Tanah Toraja village, usually Tongkonan houses will be built in a row and sequentially neatly such a cluster, including the Layuk Tongkonan, which is occupied by the holder of customary regulation, as well as the Batu Ariri Tongkonan, which acts as a unifying place for families in the Toraja tribe.
Talking about traditional houses, of course, we must not forget the Gadang house, which come from West Sumatra province, Minangkabau. The main Gadang house is usually built on a fairly large land and belongs to the parent's family for generations. Gadang houses in Minangkabau are usually built in rows lengthwise, while the shape of this house is in the form of a rectangular beam building which expands upwards and tapers downwards. The transverse line of the Gadang house building curves sharply on both edges, resemble a buffalo horn.
So, are you local heroes know any other interesting things? Yeah, the original construction of this house did not use nails to glue and connect the two pieces of wood. The material used is pegs. So when an earthquake occurs, this house swings to the rhythm of the shock so it will not collapse.
When viewed from a functional perspective, the lines of the Rumah Gadang show adaptation to the tropical nature. The tapered roof is useful for freeing water deposits on the layers of the fibers, so that rainwater, regardless of the nature of the rainfall, will slide quickly on the roof. While local heroes, traditional houses are rarely found, considering the land in some areas is decreasing. Well, in the existing traditional house, we must use it for traditional events so that house still functions.
Local heroes, we will be right back and reviewing other symbols that are also exciting. Wait a little longer, of course, in the program, Local Wisdom. cultural ritual in Indonesia will never run out to be discussed because apart from being found in various regions, also usually held according to the season or family event performances.
That's right. So let's just talk about this cultural ritual symbol in some areas in Indonesia.
A traditional tradition is not only practiced by mountain people, but also coastal communities. As in South Sulawesi, one of the traditional rituals or ceremonies that are still maintained today by the Mandar people who live in Tapango village is the Masong Lopi ritual.
Literally, Masorong means pushing or drifting, while Lopi are miniatures in the form of boats. So the meaning is pushing the boat, and this ritual is an act of refusing reinforcement carried out by the local community to anticipate natural disasters and disease outbreaks. In the Masorong Lopi ritual contain many noble cultural values, so that until now, Masorong Lopi ritual activities is still done from generation to generation.
The values contained in this ritual have norms and code of conduct that are considered good to be used as guidelines in acting and behaving in society. The ritual tradition of Masorong Lopi contains symbolic meaning of Lopi which is used as ritual tools, as well as the offering served and the equipment used. The people in Tapango village believe that by carrying out the Masorong Lopi ritual, all disaster and disease outbreaks that will befall them will be washed away and lost by the water currents, where the booths are interpreted as an art that brings people to a place of prosperity, safety, and peace.
Local heroes. Traditional rituals are also found at weddings, which are actually sacred events, like the Siraman tradition at weddings of the central Javanese community. Siraman comes from the Javanese language, the word siram, which means bathing. Some also interpret it by splashing. In terms, Siraman is the process of bathing or splashing the bride and groom before the ijab kabul procession is carried out.
In the Siraman ceremony, both the bride and groom will be splashed or poured with water mixed with various flowers. For the Javanese community, the Siraman is not only cleaning the body. More than that, the Siraman is also to clean the souls of the two brides and groom-to-be. Clean the body and soul important, so that the bride and groom are clean fresh when they start their new life as husband and wife. Usually, the Siraman is done the day before the wedding, between 10 a.m. or 3 p.m. By doing the Siraman at the same time as the angels bathing, the bride is expected to be beautiful like angel.
The purpose of the Siraman itself is to ask for God's blessings and grace so that the bride and groom are cleansed of all evil things. With Siraman, the true prospective brides and grooms are also expected to receive guidance while navigating the household ark. Siraman is also symbolically interpreted that the bride and groom are determined to behave, act, and speak clean and good words while being husband and wife. From Javanese culture, now we turn to Bali, where the majority of the population is Hindu. In Hinduism, there are three things that are generally often used in carrying out rituals: religious ceremonies that are mantra, yantra, and tantra. In addition, there are three symbols that are often used by Hindus that are tapak dara, swastika, and padwa, all three philosophically related.
Tapak dara, or often also called tapak dara or taktorek, is a common symbol used in Bali. This is a simple symbol of the swastika, which is depicted with the plus sign, usually written with a raw line, or in Balinese language called pamor or limestone, so the color becomes white.
Tapak dara is a symbol of the unification of the duality of life or Rabineda. Tapak dara is a symbol of balance vertically and horizontally. Tapak dara is usually used when carrying out a religious ceremony and is also attached or written on the house, inscribed on several pillars of the house with prestige. Of course, when a traditional ceremony is held.
Wow, it's great to know a lot about the different cultural traditions in each region. This means that Indonesia is rich in diversity, which should be preserved.
And so, with this diversity, there is always a story from life that makes humans grow.
Therefore, as the color of the Indonesian state, we must tolerate each other so that we can live in peace, and seeing differences is a natural thing.
But unfortunately, we both have to resign immediately because it's been 30 minutes accompanying local heroes to expand information about Indonesia.
So keep watching Local Wisdom.
See you later.
later.